Professional Networking Committee of OSA, Odisha Society of the Americas. To start off with our very first speaker, I would like to introduce Dr. Prasant Mohapatra, who is currently serving as the Provost and Executive Vice President of the University of South Florida. He is also a distinguished university professor at the Bellini College of Artificial Intelligence, Cybersecurity, and Computing. Prior to his current role, he served as the Vice Chancellor for Research at the University of California, Davis, UC Davis. He has also held a visiting scientist position at Intel Corporation, Panasonic Technologies, Institution of Infocom Research, I2R, Singapore, and National ICT Australia. Among, notice, among notable awards and accomplishments, Dr. Mohapatra has received an Outstanding Engineering Alumni Award from Penn State University. He is also the recipient from Distinguished Alumnus Award from the National Institute of Technology, Roerlikka. He received an Outstanding Research Faculty Award from the College of Engineering at the University of California, Davis. He is also a Fellow of the IEEA, a Fellow of AAAS, Fellow of the International Academy of Artificial Intelligence Sciences, and a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. He has been inducted into the Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine of Florida and the Pan American Academy of Engineering. Dr. Mohapatra received the Biju Patnaik Lifetime Scientific Excellence Award from the Government of Odisha in 2015. His research interests are in the area of wireless networks, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. He has published over 450 papers in reputed conferences and journals on these topics. Dr. Mohapatra's research has been funded through grants exceeding $90 million from various federal agencies and industry. So without further ado, everyone, please welcome Dr. Prasant Mohapatra.
Hey, thank you, Anushka. So nice to see you on screen. Again, we have a short time. Utkal has given me only 15 minutes, so we will move fast. I know many of you must be switching from the cricket match. Just for your information, Pakistan is not making to the semifinals, if you are curious about that. Anyway, so we will move with the slides, and I don't know who's running the slide. Can we bring up the slides? Okay, so my focus here will be to talk about the current landscape and what is the visible horizon that we have in AI. Things are changing so fast, things are changing so rapidly that if I have to repeat this talk next week, I might have to change something. Overnight things are changing, and a lot of things, in fact, happened during this week. The confrontation between the government and Anthropic, and companies like Blocks laying off more than 40% of their workforce, and all. So there are many things happening. We'll touch upon some of those. Let's move on to my next slide. So the first thing, again, I don't want to preach the choir over here, and you all have a lot of knowledge and background on AI. So basically, in simple terms, AI is the science of replicating human intelligence in machines. Okay, that's the simplest possible definition. It uses computer-based learning methods to simulate the human intelligence for activities like thinking, learning, deriving connections, inferences, and also for executing processes. Again, you can oversimplify this definition, but at the end of the day, it's replication of humans in machines. Next slide. So what are the common applications? The ones that has evolved and are evolving very fast, natural language processing. You no longer have to use a computer language like we have done in the last 50 years in order to communicate with the machines. You can use your natural language, whatever language you speak, English or any other language, you can use that in order to achieve the functionalities that you expect from the machines. Speech and visual recognition is a big thing. Your speech, your visuals, your pictures and videos can be replicated very well. And the technology has advanced so much that truly speaking, whether it's me on the screen now speaking in my voice or a machine, it'll be hard for you to distinguish if I would have faked it. Healthcare is a big area. The advances in medicine, as well as basically drug discovery, analysis, radiology, and all that. There is a lot of advances that are happening in the areas of personalized medicine, and that will be a game changer as we move with more and more uses of artificial intelligence. Process automation, this is in industry, is a big thing, and it has happened a while back, and it's moving really well. The accuracy and effectiveness is something that was unimaginable just 3 to 4 years back. Recommendation systems where basically your uh, behaviors are predicted and your actions are being predicted and recommended by machine to you. Autonomous vehicles, again, I'm sure all of you have seen. Now you can have driverless vehicles. Similarly, robotics world has changed significantly by excessive use of artificial intelligence, and you can have a lot of activities leveraging the machines. Fraud protection and cybersecurity. This is a big area. It has plus and minuses. You can leverage AI for fraud protection and cybersecurity. You can also leverage AI to launch attacks which are extremely difficult to guard. And I'll give you some examples. Financial management is a big sector. Trading and manipulation in stock markets, and also doing large scale ROI analysis, all those are possible through the AI tools now. Compliance and legals matter, and there was, not long back, per hour generation of compliance document by lawyers, where you had to spend maybe $500 to $1,000 per hour. These can be done in minutes in the AI tools nowadays. Next slide. And again, that was just a sample of applications that are more and more evolving. So, how are we evolving? So again, as I said, I'm talking at a very high level just to show you how fast things are evolving and what is the frontier of that and where we are heading to, and also showing you the visible horizon. Remember, I'm emphasizing the word visible. There are a lot of things that are happening in the invisible horizon too. Just 5 years back, there were new degree programs that were starting in data science all over the place. Very soon, people started, moving more towards talking about machine learning. They always used to say, make sure that machine learning is included in your CV, otherwise you won't get a job and all that. Things moved on much faster to large language model just about, in the last 2 years. 2024 November, something great happened. We learned about ChatGPT. That probably changed the world of leveraging LLMs in order to manipulate, or in order to analyze the text and come up with reports a fraction of seconds. Now we are in the world that generative AI, chat gpt, Gemini, and all its cousins, they seems of a distant past, which are not even more than 1 year old. Now we are moving more towards agentic AI, and I'll talk more about that. The next step will be multi-agent systems, and very soon, within um, I would say within the next 3 to 5 years, we will see super intelligence, which is also known as AGIs by some group of people, artificial general intelligence. So again, this is super intelligence means where the intelligence of the machines exceeds that of human. Sounds scary, but that's what is the reality. Next slide. Okay, so we are in a phase where we are moving beyond chatbots and automation. So the chatbots were based on rule-based automation where you basically follow instructions. Then they are mostly passive. There are specific tasks that they do, and they solve specific problem. And generative AI, like ChatGPT and all the cousins of ChatGPT, they create contents and they summarize information. Whereas agentic GI autonomously execute based on some workflows. Let me take a little bit deeper dive on that in the next slide, please. So if you look at generative AI, that focuses like ChatGPT. I'm taking ChatGPT as an example, no specific attachment with ChatGPT. There are many other great generative AI tools. Those tools, they focus on creating new data like text, images, videos, audios from the existing data. They work on a learning pattern and they learn and they resemble the learning patterns. And it's like an AI artist which can create something new based on what it has seen. Whereas agentic AI refers to systems that autonomously plan and execute multi step actions. They use LLMs and other models, LLMs, large language models. They can access tools like they can interface with APIs, they can access websites, they can execute code, they can manipulate operating systems too. So unlike the chatbots, the agent maintains memory. For example, I was using an agent was answering, some web orders in there. The second time you call, the chatbot says, "Oh, Mr. So and so, last time we talked about this. So if that didn't work, try this. If not, I will process your return through your credit card." And that didn't work, and it had access to my credit card information, and it could do a lot of things that normally humans were doing. But the key thing about agentic AI is it retains all these memories. It can call external services, it can call your credit card companies, make charges or give credits, and has a lot of these external interfaces that it can leverage. Next slide. So, what is an agent? It's basically an autonomous computational entity that perceives environment, makes decision, and it acts on it. And it has specific objectives. And basically, it can also interact with other humans or other agents. So, agents may be reactive, deliberative, and they can learn from the LLMs or through reinforcement learning, and they could have a hybrid of all of these. Again, I don't have time to get to the details. I mean, this is such an exciting topic that I can talk for the entire day, but Utkal won't like it. So let's move to the next slide. So the elements are that means what agentic AI feeds on. It feeds on language models. It feeds on a library of tools, the library of tools that human interface with. Then it coordinates workflows across the system, and then it integrates and a lot of governance things. Again, let me skip this slide. Let's move to the next slide. I think that might be a nice picture. Yeah. So basically, as user, you interface with agents, and agents have three big elements. One is perception. They can perceive through camera, text, audio, and many other sensors, and they can fuse information in there. After they perceive, they have the cognition power, which was very unique to human beings up until now. They have memory, they have a knowledge base, and they can make decision. I mean, this is the key component of the agent. And based on those decisions, they take actions in the real world. And sometimes they loop through all this process in order to achieve their goal. Next slide. So, what is the next step? The next, what I foresee is we will have AIMS. AIMS will be artificially intelligent multi-agent system. So, I so far have been talking about one agent. AIMS will have multiple intelligent systems, and they will interact with each other. So, for example, you could have a task that you say that if you'd have gotten up today and say that, okay, I want to go to India, make a stop at Delhi, then go to Bhubaneswar or wherever, your agent goes, it calls another quote unquote agent which looks at the travel itinerary. Then there is another agent sitting somewhere and says, "Hey, there's a war breaking up. You cannot go through Dubai because that airport is closed." So then another agent says, "Okay, then that will delay your trip, but you had a meeting in London. So let's try to find a route through London. And for that meeting, the information is not ready. Let's contact person XYZ." So the entire web of operations could be handled by your agent without any human intervention. And this is not, you know, something that I'm talking about futuristic events or something. This can happen literally now. Okay. And again, I can give you more examples along those lines, but the world is changing pretty fast, and I'll talk some more about the visions. So let me move to the next slide. Okay, so in multi-agent system, basically what happens is, like the example that I was giving, you have instead of one agent, you have multiple autonomous agents that are working for you, and you basically have an orchestrator agent. In the previous example, the orchestrator agent was the agent whom I just mentioned that, okay, I need to go to India, make a stop in Delhi, then go to Bhubaneswar. That's all. Then the orchestrator agent started interfacing with all the other agents and created all the chaos as well as looked for all the solutions. So again, there are a lot more details in here that I'm skipping, but this is where we are heading to in foreseeably near future. Next. Now, so this brings in a lot of concerns. Now, the fast progresses that are happening that obscure the major perplications, and this is scary. And I'll give some examples of how scary this could be. The acceleration of discovery, automation of knowledge, and productivity. Um, this will overshadow the risks. And the advances in AI may erode the trust that we have on the human beings and also in the fundamental sense. The social structure is most likely to get disrupted for better or worse. Fraud and cybercrime, they might get into a scale up unimaginable level. Let me quickly squeeze in a small story over here. And this is not a made up story. You can Google and find out. 2024 February, there was an incident in a large multinational bank in Hong Kong. During the weekend, the senior accountant was called by the chief financial officer saying that we need to do a transaction of 25 million to someone in London. It has to be done in a confidential manner and ASAP as soon as possible. The senior, and this is not an unusual action in large banks. 25 million is not that large a money to be transferred somewhere quickly. So but there was a protocol. So the senior accountant said, because we are breaking all the protocols, can we have a quick call over the Zoom and then make the approval done and send it? There was a Zoom call that was done. There was 8 people attended the Zoom call. The transfer was approved. The money was sent. Monday morning, the senior accountant found out that each and every person other than him in that Zoom call were AI generated. They had AI generated videos, AI generated voices of his colleagues. So this is the level of fraud that can happen. The moral compass will become questionable as we move ahead. Next slide. Again, I'll skip this. This is a list of the agentic tools that are out there right now. I'm sure the list will be much bigger and will double during the next month or next few months or something. And I'm pretty sure you have your all your favorite ones in here. These are the agentic tools, and there is similarly, I'm sure you all must be using a lot of generative AI tools also. So this will be the next step in terms of the tools when the generative AI tools are moving on to more of the agentic AI tools. Next slide. So again, let me talk a little bit about the challenges that we will face. The coordination complexity among the agents will be high, and again, safety will become a very critical issue as we move forward. And again, as you see, the conflict just yesterday between Anthropic and the government, between the trust and safety issues, that is a clear example on where we are heading to. Transparency, explainability, and trust will be the three big factors in adapting the new area of artificial intelligence. And again, responsibility will be a huge thing. Ethical and governance concerns are something that are going to guide the future. And again, change management and workforce impact. You saw just on Friday, Blocks laid up more than 40% of its employees because they said we'll replace them with AI. Similarly, other companies might go through that path. So that will be a huge change in workforce. So again, I know I'm running out of time, but I think next slide is my last slide probably. Okay, yeah, this is my last slide. So let me make some philosophical statements over here. We are heading towards the existence of two worlds. Whether you like it or not, both of these two worlds will coexist, both real and artificial. The secure and safe society versus the intelligence, the machine intelligence, these two will interplay. And the balance between these two will be a critical factor in defining the future. Evolution of the artificial world will be much faster than the real world. That is a loaded statement. And again, I mean a lot in that statement. It's a scary thing. Again, I can talk for hours on that, but for some another day. We do not know how the real world will cope up the speed and the dynamism with the unexplored territories as we move forward. And this might be an inflection point. It will be an inflection point related to workforce and as well as economic landscape. Like there was some discussion in the net just yesterday that when we had a bigger transition from the analog world to the digital world in late 90s, the economy was spreading at a much broader range. But here the economy is moving and moving to a smaller or a narrower scope, but is piling higher and higher. Same impact will have workforce. Will we lose all the jobs, or will the machine or AI will take over all the jobs? So we don't know. There might be a new class of jobs that will evolve. We need to be prepare ourselves and adapt ourselves in order to face the new world. There will be always need for people for doing some kind of jobs, but the question is what kind of job. And again, last but not the least, and want to end with a very positive note that we should feel privileged to witness this transformation, which will be probably one of the biggest transformation that we would have seen or the mankind would have seen for a long time. Maybe this will be the evolution to life 3.0 for those of you who are following up the broader scope of life. We are in life 2.0, and maybe AI will drive us to life 3.0, and we will probably play a part in the seamless transition process. Again, this is an exciting area. I'm very passionate about it, but I'm way over my time. So I will stop here and hand it back to Anuska.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Mohapatra, for giving this amazing presentation. And at this time, I would like to pass it to Anjan Uncle for any questions.
There is one question, sir. The question is like it's practical. If my son or daughter is preparing for college, what subjects they should pick in this time? That's the question.
Yeah, so just think about us. We don't, when we went to college, there's nothing that we are doing now is related to what we studied in the college. So I think the main thing would be to focus on fundamentals. So the fundamental part is the creative thinking. Anything that will enrich your creative thinking, that will insulate you from changes in the world. I'm telling you, whatever we taught, and I'm from academics, so whatever we teach may be outdated in 5 to 10 years from now, and they will be doing new things, like many things that we studied during our college days. But what is helping us on a day-to-day basis is the critical thinking part and the knowledge that can be adapted to new horizons.
Thank you, sir. I think we are time. Anuska, back to you for the next session. Thank you so much, sir.
Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Mohapatra, for taking us through this, quick journey from where it started to where we really are. We really will need you to keep on coming back, as some of the content that you spoke about are planned to be trained and gone into more detail in future sessions. So once again, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay. And so from here, moving on to our next speaker, which is Omkar Das. Omkar Das serves as the global head of AI at Chubb, where he is responsible for defining, championing, and executing the company's enterprise-wide artificial intelligence strategy across 54 different countries that Chubb operates in. In this leadership role, Omkar drives the vision, development, and widespread adoption of all AI initiatives across the company, ensuring that these priorities are executed in alignment with the enterprise objectives. With an academic background in computer science engineering and over 17 years of experience in technology, data, and analytics, including 10 years at Chubb, Omkar brings a blend of technical expertise in AI and deep insurance knowledge. With that, I would like to turn it over to Dr. Omkar Das.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. I'm going to share my screen. There's a issue. I have to log back in. Just give me 1 second where the privacy setting did not let me share my screen. I'll log back in a minute.
Oh, in the meantime, while he's joining, thank you, Lisa, for jumping into addressing Dilip Bhai's question about explaining. That is one of the beautiful, one of the very concise and relevant explanations. So, folks, if you're interested to know, the question was that tell us all these jargons, tell us the difference. What is AI? What is machine learning? What is generative AI? What is agentic? All these things are happening. And Lisa explained very nicely. What is AI? The grand goal of building a robot that can cook a meal, and then goes on from there. Okay, Omkar is back. Back to you, Omkar.
Sorry, everyone, for the brief disruption. With all the fancy AI, we still can't figure out how to share my screen without closing and reopening. So I'm putting my slides on a full screen. Hopefully, this is audible and visible to everyone. And if there are any issues, please let me know right now, because I'm going to walk you through some of my some of my slides right now. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to cover today is as the world moves into more of a advanced AI usage across industries, I wanted to offer some thoughts around what are we seeing from an enterprise perspective. What are the things that are changing in the world, and what does it mean? So in this particular talk, I'm going to focus on three particular segments. What does it mean if you are a tech or IT professional? What does it mean for you if you are not a technical, you're not in a technical role? Maybe you're in a operational role or a management role or a legal or HR support function kind of a role. Or if you're an entrepreneur or a owner. Um, what has happened in the last 2 years, and most importantly, in the last 3 to 4 months, is that AI has, started to take on a lot of the work that engineers in the companies do. It's specifically around coding. But if we really take a step back, the real value is in the problem solving, not in the coding. So while AI can do a lot of those problem solvings, I think there's a huge opportunity for for us to focus on the broad problem solving and use AI as an assistant. When we talk about other functions outside of finance, outside of tech, such as finance and ops, the value that AI is bringing into companies operating in those domains is that it's materially accelerating how fast companies can grow, be more productive, and productive usually is used as a proxy for saying let's do more with less people, and that's scary. The professor talked about the news from these week, with Block laying off 40% of their employees. That's real. That's happening right now, and in at scale, is what we're seeing, and we're only beginning this journey. The third segment I would say is entrepreneurs and owners. For these kind of people, if you have a business offering and you want tools to support your business, tools that were only gated for enterprises, it is a high cost barrier to entry, now are can be built and sold at a fraction of cost. So this presents a huge opportunity. But if I want to take a step back and frame this, the first phase of the new AI revolution started in November 2022 with launch of ChatGPT. But the most, I would say, phenomenal part has happened in the last 2 years. In the initial days, you would just write a prompt, get an answer. So AI would just help you think, maybe write better email, write better drafts. But right now, what we are seeing in the industry is that AI is able to actually do the work. In fact, there are cases, and I have my own personal experience, and all the opinions that I'm expressing, by the way, is my own. In my personal experience, I've seen AI do most of the work. In fact, it may not be a surprise for many of you to know that this entire presentation today is created by AI. I just spoke what I wanted to say, and the entire slides were created by AI in a matter of 10 minutes. So as we go and look at this framing and say, well, AI is doing most of the work, so where does human effort really shift? It's really towards more around judgment. If you look at the value of human cognitive output, it's not more around processing rote work, but more around decision making, judgment, and more human centric work is where the shift is happening right now. I'm going to be more specific right now because there's a lot of talk around, well, AI might be taking our jobs. Well, some skeptics of AI could say, well, it doesn't do anything. I'm immune to any disruption. The truth, and I'm saying this because I know I've seen the front lines across industries. The truth is somewhere in between. One cannot be scared that AI is going to take our jobs, or one cannot be completely oblivious to the fact that there is going to be disruption. So, with that, I would start to think about sort of a heat map of where are the areas where there's a high risk of work getting disrupted by AI, and where the risk is lower. And I would also want to go into the reasons a little bit. If you look at customer support, doc review, programming, specifically very specifically coding, right? Not problem solving, coding. A lot of that work is getting done today with AI, with a huge productivity improvements that are facts. These are public statements made by different companies. There is empirical evidence to suggest that work is getting disrupted and automated. But when we see things like these, entry level content creation, data analysis, first level of service, drafting, these are high risk areas. Low risk areas is where you have a lot of strategic thinking needed, a lot of work, like plumbing is not going to be automated anytime soon, for example. Um, in fact, electricians is I don't know if this is someone has said this out publicly. I would say electrician is the hottest job of this year because of amount of data centers built to support AI. What is in shortage is electricians. So that goes into the physical trades piece. And then there is an interpersonal work where you need human touch to be able to do your work. So as we think about it, how do we start to position ourselves? And I go back to what I said in the beginning. Our roles would change in the future. If you are in tech or IT, we are not just thinking about building stuff from ground up. We're thinking about working with AI and letting AI to build things to our specification. That's the role. And you would see in various industries, people's roles are silently changing. And with like all changes, things happen gradually at first and then suddenly. And this is what we are seeing happen right now in AI. If you're not in a tech role, the value that people bring today is around understanding the domain. True understanding of domain is something that general purpose AI as of today has not figured out. If you're a lawyer, if you are a HR person, if you're an operations person, if you're a marketing person, the best domain expertise and using AI to amplify your capabilities within that domain is going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be a winning formula. For builders, the cost of AI, the cost of using services by AI has lowered, and we can give some specific examples for that. You would see that a lot of the SaaS software as a service stocks recently have created. A lot of companies that use Salesforce today don't use the full capability of Salesforce. A lot of companies that use ERP systems don't use the full capability of the systems. So there is a huge gap for people to build what they need, and discard everything else. So that is where the world is, I think, going. Now let's look at some of the um, more specifics around what roles are growing, what roles are stable, where is the pressure, where is the displacement happening, and some outlook. Because this talk is also to help ground things, ground an audience on what is actually changing in very practical terms. Where are the jobs growing? AI engineers, domain experts, entrepreneurs, because the barrier to entry to the cost of capital and the barrier to entry have both gone down. So there's more entrepreneurship that's going to happen. Of course, AI engineers and domain experts are what is in high need because people are investing in these AI systems. What's stable is professions that are regulated, doctors, lawyers, etc. What is under pressure, like I mentioned before, is that mid to early level career paths across industries. And what is being displaced, I would say, very, very clearly, is this very early career roles. So, and this is all happening very silently, where when people leave the companies, the roles are not getting backfilled, and sometimes very openly when people like we have heard the announcement this week where Block just laid off 40% of their employees. But there is, I am going to go a little more detail into this, and then I'll step back. If I look at a 12-month horizon, and I would usually, 2 years ago, I would used to see the world in 3 to 5 years timeframes and beyond. Now it's hard to do that. In 12 months, in months, 2 months to 3 months, things are changing. In a 12-month horizon, I would say that there are certain roles where the momentum is strong, the roles are growing. There are a few areas where it is shrinking. This is not meant to either be. I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't want to scare anybody. Nor I want to give people a sense of comfort. I want to tell things as it is because I'm seeing this on the front lines. Um, but let's then take a step back and say, what does it mean? There are industries today that are highly regulated. Even within the US, 50 states would have 50 different regulations for certain industries. Those are the industries where the rate of change due to AI is the lowest, because catering to every single regulation, and regulation moves very slowly. That is why that gives people time to react if you are in one of those industries. For unregulated industries, the change is happening faster than what would be comfortable for people. Now, I want to put more of a conceptual framing of what this is doing. If we look at where we would see in the long term, the jobs that are the companies and the roles that are getting automated fastest is not really the right probably the thing to do. There were instances in 22 to 23 where companies pre-IPO used to just say, I'm going to automate all the roles only to hire those people back in about 2 to 3 years. So this has happened in the past. What is going to be important for companies is to protect human judgment. So this goes back to my earlier point. If you are in a role that requires a lot of judgment, that is a very specific way to protect your not just your role, but also to use AI to amplify the capabilities that you have, the domain expertise that you have. And I'll go and now make a very specific set of recommendations that I have made in the past, that how can we look at this disruption. And I've given things at a very high level, but I want to now go back and say, okay, what are the concrete steps one might follow to even think about how to be a participant in this economy, in this change, as opposed to being disrupted by this change. So the first thing I would say is momentum is better than perfection. So if any job that you do, look at all the repetitive tasks that are in, right? You could be any role. There are repetitive tasks. Find out what those repetitive tasks are and write them down specifically in a week. Create a short list of those tasks in your actual role and run and the step two would be about a month, learn how to think about what are those tasks, what would it take to automate them, and what would it mean in terms of the quality of the outcome before and after. Easier said than done. And this is where the third thing comes up. I would encourage people to actually get on the bandwagon to learn what AI can or cannot do for their roles. Don't follow the hype. There is a lot of that, but be very grounded. There are people who would say things only to be alarmists, but go with the trusted sources. Go with things like Coursera, for example. If you don't have access to academia, or go with very reputed sources like Bloomberg or Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, and so on. Nothing on Twitter is something that one would take very seriously. And more importantly, please find people that are in the industry, connect with them, see how that their work can influence how you might want to think about your work. And for one, I'm willing to be a sounding board for anyone who wants to come up and chat and see what their role is and what I might provide as an input on what that role might change going forward. And I can offer a helping hand to the best of my knowledge, to prepare people for what's about to come. The last thing that I would leave with is the future. World has changed many times in the past, right? This is nothing new, but it is still new because the pace of change is astronomical right now. What I would say is that the future would belong to those people who would not just understand the technology, but also the true crux of the problem that it solves. Because even today, if I want to go to a doctor, I still have to wait. I still cannot be in a situation where everything is efficient. I go to the doctor, just check in time and get to see them. There's still inefficiencies across the board. So no matter what we see as discourse in the public domain, there is still a lot of opportunity for us to think about where our roles can change in the future. And there's a time, the window is closing, but there's people to upskill and be party to this change and drive this change as opposed to being influenced by this change. And I'll stop there if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Omkar Das. And as of right now, I would like to once again turn it over to Anjan Uncle for any questions in the chat.
Absolutely. So the chat, there are a couple of questions, but we will probably it will be a good idea to open up the floor if anyone has any questions for the esteemed speakers of today, Professor Mohapatra and Dr. Das. Well,
Uh, Hi. Hi. My name is Tapas.
go ahead,
Am I
Tapas.
audible? Yeah, thank you so much. It is a nice session. And this is my first time I'm joining this session. So I have a question. I want to know uh, regarding the just a short while we discussed about the how the AI kind of gonna going to impact your job and this thing. So from the industry perspective, I want to know first thing, because I'm just trying to tell my background. I am a 2023 graduate from here one UNT, and then I try to find a job, and it's very difficult to find a job, honestly. And uh, I was having my background on AI, but eventually I got a job where I am doing right now, mostly on development work. So on that perspective, I want to know how somebody can uh, get an opportunity to first thing to work on it, because finding the opportunity itself nowadays is very very difficult. That's what I feel. Even though you apply 100 of job applications, getting a job, a call itself is very difficult. I wanted to know a little bit on that perspective, and I'm pretty much agree that there are a lot of hypes that AI going to take a lot of jobs. But honestly, in my day-to-day work, when I'm using the AI, but it's like if you are AI can be your assistant, but it can't write the quality of code. But it's the today situation, it cannot write the quality of code how a developer can write or how a human can understand. So kind
Tapas,
of
what's your question? Yeah,
yeah, I want to know like how somebody can fit in a industry at the current time as
Sure.
a AI engineer or something.
sure. Om.
Um, well, it's a very tough question, and I was thinking about how to answer this question. But here is the best I can do at this point. Um, I fully understand right now that you open one role and you get like 2,000 applications, right? So
Right,
as sitting on the side, let's say if you're a hiring manager, the biggest problem is how do you even get to this 2,000 applications, right?
right,
So what you tend to then do is go scan your network and hire people that you know or someone that you know knows, right? And that has been a method of hiring for at least what I have seen. Now, more importantly, if you, my first recommendation is go network with people who are in the industry. You would have a better opportunity to, or better chances to get into a role of your choosing through networks. Number one, but network alone is not going to go take you anywhere if there is a lack of competence, right? So how do we grow the competence is the next question. And as you might be in any technical profession, and Tapas, the question that you had is, the comment that you made was AI, the code written by AI today isn't that great. Well, it was true up until fall of last year. I have seen firsthand the code that Claude Code writes is better than one of the best engineers that we see. What might be an issue is doing PR reviews, right? Now it's just so much code. Okay. The Going back to what I said, there is a lot of option where you could actually build applications, push it to GitHub, let people try out, because the cost of building things have reduced to almost zero. So three things: network, show people what you can build, and upskill yourself, right? So then you might have a better chance. Unfortunately, I actually don't have a better answer than this because I know how painful it is at this point at a beginner level to get a job.
That's a
right.
great,
Thank you,
great
thank you.
answer. Thanks, Om. So we'll take one more question in the order I'm picking in order. Nihar, you go next. Subhrangsu, please type your questions in the chat in the interest of time. Nihar, you go next.
Thank you, Anjan Bhai. So my question is to mainly to Om Bhai maybe. This is Nihar, and so do you think, my question is, do you think there will be risk of for a like a management role due to AI, like let's say program manager or kind of a product manager role?
Product manager role for AI?
Not, it's not like a exactly AIPM because if you, so I have been working as a product manager and program manager role as of now. So also have been doing some AI certification. So do you think there will be a risk? I know I'm upskilling to for the AI skills and all, but do you think like in a very high level, do you think that still there is a risk due to
Yeah.
AI for my role, or I have to switch to immediately to the AI based PM role or something?
No, I think, look, it's very hard to say, Nihar. It's actually very hard to say what would be a risk because it depends on the industry, depends on the company, depends upon maturity of adoption in the company. But the frontier companies that have adopted AI in industries that are not very regulated, yes, there would be a risk. But it could be the exact opposite as well, right? Depending on which industry you're in. But I think going back to some first principles, I would say thinking is um, i- if you truly define what the value of your role is for the company and you start to amplify that value by using AI. And I'm not a big fan of certifications because those things are cannot keep up with the pace of change recently, right? And things become immaterial in about 2 months. So I wouldn't really chase certifications. I would go back to first principles and say, what am I doing? What is my core contribution to the company? And how can I 10x my contribution, right? I'm paraphrasing 10x, but how can I increase my, asymmetrically my contribution to the company and become indispensable for anything that I do, right? I might be a programmer, I might be a program manager. The rules are the same. How can I become indispensable by doing more using AI for the company?
Got it. Thanks, Om Bhai.
Thank you, Om. And Subhrangsu, please type your questions. We will take that. So over to Anuska.
Thank you once again, Anjan Uncle, and thank you again, Mr. Das. I personally really love the momentum over perfection phrase. Usually in an Indian household, it's either perfection ole mara kaibu. So, this AI revolution is really making my life, a lot more relaxing. I feel a lot better. So, moving on to our third speaker, Satyabrata Pradhan. So for the intro for him, so he is an automotive engineer, mentor, and creator, blending technology, leadership, and storytelling to inspire growth. Based in Michigan, he works in software-defined and AI-driven vehicle innovation, focusing on validation, cybersecurity, and future mobility systems. Beyond engineering, he is also a passionate coach who helps professionals build personal brands and think bigger. So he shares insights on AI, innovation, and also leadership through engaging content on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. And he is also a very strong community contributor as he actively supports different cultural and educational initiatives while mentoring other people towards their personal success. And his mission is really just simple: stay humble, keep learning, and empower people to create meaningful impact through knowledge and creation. With that, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Satyavrata Pradhan.
Hey,
Thank
thank you, Anushka. Thank you for and actually, this is a really good topic. Both Prashant Bhai and Omkar Bhai discussed really good. I was really taking some notes also on the side to learn. But before we go ahead and start on the practical issues of the session, and before I start my screen sharing, I'd like to ask something to all. Did you guys enjoy the first music? It was played during the starting of the session. If anyone Anyone heard that one? Can you please write 2.28? I want to see how many people are really heard that music. Okay, so I think nobody has written 2.28. Okay, let's go ahead and start. So basically, we'll talk about that music. Okay, maybe I'll tell something about that music. That music was created through AI. I did not do my like I'm not a storyteller. I'm not a like a content creator or something, but I tried something using AI. So basically, I know Omkar Bhai and Prashant Bhai has mentioned about lot details on the AI. I will talk about something like it's a daily uses. Like I'm not going to talk about how the software industry is going to take over or the AI is going to take over all the program manager, the software jobs. Let's focus on how AI is going to be part of our integral daily lives. AI is not only for uh, software engineers. AI is not only for others. AI is for all right now. AI with through AI you can create contents. You can do whatever you want to if you provide the exact information what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and start. I'll give some classic examples. If you guys have your browser open, can you guys open your google.com in Chrome? I want to see. I'll share my screen also, but I want to see how much you know about how Google is different from AI. So I'll show you can classic example here. Sorry, I'm on Google here. So I'm just talking about, okay, I want to know about, let's go ahead and start with, I want to prepare a travel advisor plan, travel itinerary. Maybe I'll say like for Florida. So this is, I'm searching in Google actually. I'm not doing any AI search. I'm just searching in Google and it just gives me all the websites who are doing the itinerary plans. So you can see like it, okay, this is Mindtrip. It is talking about AI itinerary generator. You can go to that and then there will be some other portions where, okay, there will be a Be My Travel. Okay, you can use this 1 week itinerary plan from this. But if I have to customize my plan, I can do that through ChatGPT now. This is where we come to ChatGPT or any other like we have few different tools or automation AI tools. Like okay, let's do something like okay, I want to I'm just going to put some sorry. Acting as a top travel agent, I please plan for a week's travel itinerary in Florida, and you can mention from when to when. Maybe I'll just mention about 7th March to 14th March with kids. So let's see what it gives now. So now, if you see, if I go to Google Chrome here or the Google, normal Google, and I come back to ChatGPT, it gives me all the details about like it, instead of going to any other websites or any other plans, you can go through the ChatGPT and ask like, okay, Florida family itinerary, March 7 to March 14. It tells you, okay, day one, what you can do it on the day one. Then go to the day two. This is the Magic Kingdom and what are the highlights, focus points you should go for day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. This is the relaxed day, and you come back, and it gives all you suggestions. So you can see like Chat GPT is not only for the software engineers, Chat GPT or the all the AI tools, they can help you on the daily, day-to-day lives. That is what like how good you are at asking the Chat GPT or the any of the AI tools what you want particularly. That will help you to build you like give you a better context, better result on that. So let's go back to the screen again. So that's why like you guys now this is your turn. Can you guys make a travel plan, personalized travel plan? I want to see like maybe next 30 seconds you create your personalized travel plan and post into the chat GPT. And if you guys want, you can post it into the chat also. We want to see who has the best creative prompt. 30 seconds starts now, maybe. Anjan bhai, do we have the timer starts? Maybe
Yeah.
I should have it. Yeah, okay. So 30 seconds. Please go ahead and type your whatever prompts you guys think you can go ahead and write it. Sorry, I'm not able to see the charts, but definitely I would like to see the charts. How funny prompts or good prompts are coming in. Are we done with the 30 seconds now? Hopefully.
No prompts yet on chart. How can so there are questions. How can leaders utilize AI from an architecture perspective?
That's a prompt. That's a prompt.
Yeah. Okay, that's a prompt. Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Any prompts that should be fine. So uh, okay. So looks like Sushmita, she mentioned I have already used to make it my last trip, but still need to modify. Yeah, we can do that. This is what we can do it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one where we'll be talking about something different too. Um, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I think the prompts are keep on coming. So basically, these are the leading tools currently we are using right now. Chat GPT, when most of the people are like this is the first one. If you saw, remember Prashant bhai and Omkar bhai also mentioned the same thing. The Chat GPT is the first AI tool which came in and everybody started using. So there was a like a maybe I should have asked this question first. What is the AI tool or AI tool which got the most number of downloads in 1 week of its release? Is it Netflix? Is it ChatGPT or is it I don't know. I can Chrome or something like that. Do anyone knows that?
It's the messenger which invented in India.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe Anjan bhai might be knowing that. But when I was doing the research, I know ChatGPT was the one which got downloaded more than 1 million times in just 5 days. So I think everybody was loved the ChatGPT, and then I think once at some point even DeepSeek from China was about to take over, but it didn't happen actually.
I think it's up to 200 million just in 18 months for ChatGPT, hitting around 1 billion users.
Okay.
Lisa here again. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so basically, Chat GPT is the normal, like most of the people are using the Chat GPT. Claude AI, if you normally want to have more context, and Claude AI does a lot of research while providing the information to you guys. There are different Claude AI models also they have, which like if you need a extended research, you can use this Claude AI's extended research and you'll get it. I think you guys, if you are scrolling through the social media, you might be seeing all the different AI pictures which is coming from Gemini. So Gemini has their nano banana, which is creating different kind of images. Whatever the prompts you give, you post your picture, and nano banana can create a lot of different pictures, different design of AI pictures also. Yeah, I saw like there is a question on the perplexity is also good. Yes, that has been. But when we are comparing between comparing to the Claude and Gemini, if you see the latest report came out, Claude is getting better. I think they have a 73% better accuracy rate. And I think Gemini is somewhere around 60 something, and Claude, ChatGPT is closer to like 50%. So there is a team who does all the research on what type of how much accuracy each of the AI tool has, and Cloud AI is currently sitting at the highest, and they're giving a good benefit towards the teams, actually, all the teams. Moving to the next slide, I think we should just a minute. And this is a new AI tool came out from, actually. We should I think we should invite Pratyush Kumar to sometime to this meeting. Actually, he is the co-founder of the Sarbam AI, who is supporting the Odia language. And I think Anjan Bhai can talk a lot more about Sarbam and Odia language AI. Yeah, I know he was kind of a part of those. His ODI AI Club is most of the part of like talking about all the ODI AIs and ODI languages being part of the AI tools, and I think it was scripting or something. If I remember, Ranjan Bhai, like writing in ODI languages. So your team has started one point. So this is one of the AI tool. I think yesterday I started using this one. It is really like if you want to script anything from one language to different language, this is supporting a lot of the languages from India. And even I did something. I was trying to do something from like creating a different song using the Sublime AI, but I didn't get a time to finish it. But it was there was a plan to complete it, but I can copy create one more song and post it here also. You guys maybe enjoy it later sometime. Okay, so let's go back to something. What is a prompt? So basically, if I have to tell something like this. Uh, if you guys remember back in the days, we used to get like when we were in the studying, okay, write an essay about this one. So that time, whatever we studied, we used to write same way. But here, why the prompt is required? Because you need to properly define what you are asking to the AI as an AI system. Whatever you are asking to the tool, if it is not proper, if it is not the getting into the proper informations, you will not able to see, you will not able to get the proper results. That is what, if you remember, I'll go back to again to the uh, so like here we asked travel itinerary plan for the Florida Keys. It just showed you this one. But again, if I take this same context here and ask the chat GPT again, I'll go for a new chat and I will ask the same thing here. So you can see here, it just gives me the random thought of whatever it is there in the data set. So when we go to the Google Chrome, it was just asking, oh sorry, the Google normal Google search engine. It just looks into the keywords from the like travel itinerary plan for Florida. It takes the, okay, I need to find a itinerary, I need to find a travel, and that's for Florida. It takes from the Google, when you go to the Google, it does that one. But when it goes to the any of the AI tools, it looks into the lot of the data sets. Okay, what are the things we can explore? If I have a 3 day, so like you can see, it is, I just gave a normal prompt right now, travel itinerary plan for Florida Keys. You still keep on asking me, you want me a 3rd day quick escape or a 7 day immersive key trip? So based on that, it is okay. If it is you need a 5 day trip, how it will be. But if you remember when we asked here, okay, so if I go back to in this one, I asked, I try to I put a simple role for the AI tool to find out. Okay, be a top travel agent and find out a week's travel itinerary from this, and I am going with my kids. So I define something that, okay, if I go to Florida, I'm going with my kids, I'm going with my family. So think what are the particular things I like, particular things the kids will be loving into. So it predicts that one, and then that's why it is keep on focusing on the, okay, it's light evening act, you should be going into the Disney. And it also talks about free and fun atmosphere. What are the things you're looking? Okay, if you go to the Magic Kingdom, what are the things you should be looking for? You can define all these things, so which we talk about here, uh, like here. So the structure of the prompt, whatever we gave it to the AI tool, it should be like role. You define a role, what type of what the AI tool should act like? Is it like whether if you're looking for a travel, whether you need a travel assistant or travel advisor, whether you need to be a lawyer, if you need a lawyer, what type of lawyer you want, whether it's a criminal lawyer, what is it, is a vehicle safety lawyer or anything. If you are talking about anything related to the cybersecurity, you can talk about, okay, be the topmost cybersecurity expert. Then this goes to the instruction, what you are looking for, whatever you are looking as, if it is a travel, okay, I'm going to India, what things I should, what should be I should plan for. These are the places you're giving the instruction, okay, from I'm going from this date to this date, I'm planning to visit this place. This is the instructions we are giving. Context also, this adding, you are adding more information to that one, what actually you are looking from that tool, whether you are looking for visiting only to like the heritage places, whether you want to visit for the AI conferences, or you are going to visit the universities, all these things you ask that. Then it gives an example whether I want to get those as a I will say, like whether you want to get it like in the bullet points, you want to get it as detailed information on each day to each day, like one day, day one, what you should be doing it, or this is one of the examples. So let's go ahead and talk about, like, okay, think about what are the next prompt we should be focusing on. Okay, so let's talk about one of the prompt on healthy eating. So uh, okay, so think about this, like, okay, so if I have a prompt about healthy eating, okay, if I give a prompt, tell me about healthy eating. So if let's go and actually do that. Actually, let me open my so what I have is chat GPT. Sorry, I'm more focused in the chat GPT. So I can ask it, okay, let's uh, give me some. So this is a just an example. I'm just asking it. It's a prompt. So we are going to compare between two prompts. So give me some healthy eating examples. So you can see it just like talking about balanced meal example, grilled chicken, all these things you should be eating it. But it is not giving you whether you are talking about a Indian Hindu or meat eater. All these things. It's not talking. You are not talking about these things. But when you like, some lot of people are like you who are vegetarians or something, so you can uh, you you can make it customized for your stuff. So if I have to go and talk this way, okay, now let's talk this way, like we are a nutrition expert and you will be focusing on creating a diet plan for next few days. So let me go back again. So now I'm going to ask, I have a prompt actually written, so I'm just using that one. So what I did is, you are a nutrition specializing in South Asian diet. So we are putting the role here and then create a 7-day meal plan. We are providing an instructions, what type of, uh, so this is the role we are giving it. You see, instead of asking about, give me some healthy eating examples, I'm asking it, you are acting as the role of nutrition specialization, and you are creating a 7-day meal plan. So this is the instruction we are giving. So for a vegetarian family who wants to reduce an oil and sugar and still enjoy traditional ODF flavors, this is the context we are giving. Present each day as a simple table with the breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner columns. This is what the example we are giving right now. And let's see, using the rice format, what it is showing us to us. So if you see here, now it is giving us a day-to-day breakout of what you think you should use it. Like day one, it's broke, like it made a table, it broke it. Okay, for breakfast, you should have this chuda dahi and banana and roasted peanuts. Then same thing, whether in dinner, mixed vegetable khichdi and tomato chutney. So it's kind of like broke down day by day what you should have exactly. And if you want, you can see oil reduction, sugar reduction, whatever you want to add, you can mention it here. Even if you want, you can just ask them, okay, I want to have this downloaded to a, sorry, Word document. So it creates those and you can have it here on itself. So it can create a download like Word document for you guys. So it's easier for you to use now. So can anyone think of a new rice prompt? Let's have 30 seconds and let's go ahead and finish create few different rice prompts. We would like to we would definitely love to see your creativity too. So please go ahead and write for next 30 seconds your prompts.
There are questions which are close to the prompt in a contextual way. There is a prompt from Chandrasekhar Das. The prompt is act as a certified nutritionist and fitness coach.
Okay,
Design
that's
a
awesome.
system. Yeah, and like he has contextualized it nicely. Design a sustainable fat loss routine and meal plan for me that promotes steady fat loss. And then I am looking at one question from Pradhan. That seems like a prompt. As a full stack developer, AI feels like an ocean to me right now. No, that's a question, but that can be,
Yeah,
designed.
so yeah, Anjan bhai, totally agree. This is what you can take it to ChatGPT or Claude, and you can ask that question actually. Uh, thus, you can really ask that question to ChatGPT or Claude, and see what are the answers we are getting also. Okay, so let's move on to the next instruction set or chat prepare we have. Okay, so maybe these are the things you can plan for, like if you want to practice on something, like if you want to create a rice prompt on the travel, work, learning, parenting, anything, you can think of creating one. um, Maybe at the end we'll also you like I have a detailed like detailed travel itinerary plan also what I used previously, so we'll go through that one, but let's try to cover more things today. So this is something we should be aware of, hallucination, like always review the output, because sometimes whatever we feed it to chat gpt or any of the AI tool, it has to go through it has to go through a vast amount of data. So it if somehow that sometimes those data, whatever it is coming to us, it might be wrong also. It may not be in it's not the fact checked, or it might have been a different scenario also, or it may be creating. So I'll give an example, like okay, if I go ahead and ask chat gpt, okay, so who created like is I'll just tell this way, is the autonomous vehicle created in 1800 centuries? So let's go ahead and ask that question. Actually, I was trying to see what type of question I can ask. I'm going to ask it here. Mm, invented. Let me make it like invented. Oh, sorry, my bad. Invented it. So you can see it is keep on telling us the early ideas and technology that labored in autonomy entered autonomy started developing around that time. So even they're telling like, okay, it might not be invented, but it might have been they put the foundation during the 1800s also. So which may not be the correct statement, but somehow ChatGPT keep on telling that. So always we have to be mindful about what we are getting the information from the all these AI tools. So if I go to the next slide, we have that one actually. So we already have seen a case of Mata versus Abhyanka, where this has been actually go into the case, and looks like there was some fake precedents has been generated by ChatGPT and submitted. So there was a case how already has been happened. So we need to make sure or mindful about what we are posting in the uh, what we are posting like what we are getting in the information from the chat gpt and any of the AI tools. So what do you guys think about this? Is this an hallucination? The Eiffel Tower was originally intended to build in Barcelona, but Spain rejected the proposal. Do you guys think it is a true or false? Anjan bhai, did you get some answers?
Charts are coming in,
Okay, okay.
not specifically to this. Yeah, there is one answer false.
Okay. So no, actually, this is the true statement. So it was originally planned to build in Barcelona, but Spain rejected that. So uh, let's go to the next one. So honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs that was still edible.
There are true and false.
So, what is a human mind will think about this? Is it true or false?
Uh, one response is true and another response is false yet.
Yeah, so this is a real actually. So archaeologists actually found the 3,000-year-old honey, which is edible. And AI sometimes will tell us, okay, it's not because of like there may be some bacteria or all these things will be there, but this is how it was edible that time they discovered. Going to the next one. Professor James Whitfield of MIT published a 2023 paper proving that AI reduces workplace stress by 67%. Is it a real or a hallucination?
Yet to get a response.
Okay.
Sounds pretty accurate, huh? And there is a response, hallucination.
Yeah, that's true. So this was one actually somebody asked to AI that is AI reducing the workplace stress, and AI told yes, it's reducing the workplace stress, but it's a hallucination. It cannot be a fact. Uh, I don't know. A lot of the time we we don't see that happening, but yeah, sometimes it if we go for the automation or something, it reduces some of the work labor like work stress, but not the workplace stress. Now moving to the next one, octopus has have 3 hearts and blue blood. Hallucination or real?
It is responded as real.
Yep, that's correct. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. So okay, so basically the responsible usage of AI. We want everybody here to be make sure whenever we are doing any stuff using the AI, make sure it's a cross check the facts for the high stake decisions. If you're taking some big decision, make sure you check with others also. If you know someone who can help you, check with them. They can give you the correct decision also. Protect, and this is the biggest important thing: never ever share your passwords, financial data, personal informations like social security or any details to the AIs, because it stores the data. You can know, that it stores the data. So your data will be used for other like studies and everything. So also disclose if there is anywhere you are using the AI, just mention that you used AI generated work. That is what Omkar Bhai did in the beginning, that he told yes, he created the uh, presentation using AI in 10 minutes. We know that whenever we create that, we should be telling those information. And that is what also did when I was playing that music, and somebody asked whether that music has been generated by AI or not. Yes, whenever we use AI, please make sure you use that before going into any copyright informations. Let's do some knowledge check right now. I know we have closer to 1:30. Let's go to the first one. What does the R in the RISE prompting framework stands for? Anyone?
Role from Lakshmi Priya.
Okay,
Tapos
that's good.
Gautam.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
correct answer. The role is the correct answer. Uh, when an AI generate a confident answer that is factually incorrect, this is called
D. Lot
yep.
of answers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's D, hallucination. Uh, Next one. What is the best use of AI? Primary physician, replacement of Google, collaborative assistant, substitute of thinking.
B.
Don't go as replacement of Google, because Google will be there, and AIs will be there. But yes, the correct answer is C, collaborative assistant. We don't want it to take over us. It don't want you to substitute for thinking. You don't want your critical thinking part to be gone. You need to have your critical thinking to make sure you do the day-to-day life. Don't ever depend on the AI for as a physician. Make sure you talk to your physician if there is any health issues or anything related. Checking with AI might not be the right, like the same way it was told previously. Also, don't even depend on the Google to understand what is your health conditions. Okay, so the next one, you should never share with an AI chatbot your favorite recipe, your draft email, your social security number, your article to fact check. Any answers so far?
One answer, SSN.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. So never share any of your personal information, like any of the password, any bank account number or bank password, anything. So because it can be harmful for you. Okay, so these are the session summary you have. Just take AI as a thinking partner, not as a search engine. Make sure you don't take everything as your like this is it's just as a thinking partner. You can get all information, whether it has to be a software development, coding, to your day-to-day routine, to your any content creation, apart from the software engineering, or any kind of, like I do sometimes use it for like creating some videos. If I need a direction on what type of video I should create to post in LinkedIn, I go to ChatGPT and ask these questions. Again, RISE makes you, so these are the different part. These are role, instruction, contact examples. When you give this kind of stuff to the any of the chatbots, your prompt will be 10x better compared to how you are just right. Okay, give me an example of this. AI can hallucinate. That's very much true. Verify, protect, and disclose. Um, Now you know the effective uses of AI. Now hoping we'll have the journey going forward. Let's go ahead and go this. Hopefully, but on the so this will be a bi-weekly meetings, training sessions. so from today. So we'll be focusing on how the AI will be used, AI use cases will be in there for your work. Then skills required for an AI augmented workplace, like Prashant Bhai or Omkar Bhai mentioned today, they can also support on any of those AI augmented workplace related stuff and all that others. We are creating more backlogs, adding to our if next episodes. Please, if you have any ideas what you want to talk about or what you have anything, if you want to go like we have some industry experts who can help and explain it here also, please let us know. We can bring them if you have any particular topics which you want to cover it in this particular sessions. These if you want to learn more, you can use this Claude 101 with from this place. There are different courses, and if you want to read about this, you should focus on this Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleiman. This is a really nice book. This is kind of similar to the internet wave which came in during the 99 and 2000 era. And Nexus, a Brief History is one more good book also. You can focus on those books. Yep, that is all we have. But before that, let me bring up one of the uh, few charts which I prepared actually. So pretty. Okay, so I'll bring up something like what different prompts I normally go through. Maybe I should go to one page. Okay, so like through using AI, you should not be asking the chatbot to get your proper informations, and you should be like asking it like how I can learn the method. Like this is what we have one of the good prompts actually. Assume a role of a high school mathematician teacher as I see a high school freshman and struggling to understand the advanced algebra. Here I'm not trying to resolve my issues with like resolve my homework or resolve my getting answers from my homework. I'm trying to understand what is my homework assignment, particularly in the area of the quadratic equations and polynomials. Using examples concept, can you teach me these topics? I do not want you to simply give me answers, rather give me the enough hints so I can find the answers. For example, so we are giving an example here also. You shall ask me, let's find point on a circle using quadratic equation. Then tell me a short steps. How do I solve those? Here we are trying to use the AI not to explain me the answers directly. I am asking the AI to teach me what are the informations I should be getting it. That is what our focus is. AI should not be your just your answer bot. Let it explain you what things you are learning it. You can use it for anything. Like if you want to learn about AI, just go ahead the same way. Make sure there is a like conversation happening with your chatbot and you. So you can ask like, okay, I don't want to go directly to the answer. Give me test. Give me the steps how I can learn in uh, getting the like 20% of this and 20% of that. Then remaining 80% you should go with like questions and answers. Same thing if you want to learn about a financial advisory. This is one of the best, maybe best prompts you can use. Like assume role of the personal financial advisor with the deep expertise in financial tool in USA. I want you to explain me the fundamental personal finances. Teach me how to invest to build my financial growth. A goal when I retire in next 25 years. I do not want you to write me every verbiage essay type answer. I would like to make a chat conversational. So this is where we're asking the chatbot to like make it conversation. Like who, if I have to make my decision for next 25 years, what are the actual things I should follow on this right now? Whether I have a like if I go ahead and ask this question to Claude right now, it will ask me something like, okay, whether you have your like let me maybe I should go through this. Let me take this one and go to Claude and uh, go about that actually. Let's Claude here. So okay, so I just went through the same question. Like I would want you to make this chat conversational where you shall give me lot of examples, ask me short question to help me understand the concept. Through this conversation, I want you to build my financial roadmap, ask me any clarification questions. If you find any gaps, my thoughts or
Mhm.
inputs, is that okay? So let's go ahead and ask that. So this is a classic example of the rice, but we are adding more context. So the more, if you provide 2 to 3 minutes to clarify your prompt, it will give you a better answer actually. So see, it is asking me. It doesn't know about me right now. I'm not using ChatGPT, Claude that much, so it is asking me whether I'm a salaried employee, self-employed. Okay, let me start with salaried employee. I save little, I save regularly, but don't invest. I'm not saving enough. So this is what I'm just giving them. Then what type of prompts it's asking, the questions it's asking, you'll see. So now approximately annual income, let's think about, okay, let's go with this. And then do we have emergency fund? I put 3 to 6 months, then any kind of debt, only mortgage. Then it gives you again, okay, so we have this information I have right now. So it is telling me like if I do 500 months save for next 25 years, it will be in saving account, it will be 195K, but I invested 475K. So now it is telling these things are done. Now it is asking me, does your employer offer a 400K, 401K matching contributions? And I contribute enough to get the full match. Yes, so I go with this. So you can tell it stocks tells me, okay, what are the information I should be using, tax IRA, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, and this is also gives me about limitations we currently have. Okay, so I have only the Roth IRA, I go for this. So now, are you maxing out your Roth IRA? I still not the full. So basically, it just makes a plan based on your inputs also. So it will ask a few more other questions also. I'm hoping. Yeah. So what is your Roth IRA currently invest on? So I think it's just target funds. I give it. Yep. So it goes back again. So there are two answers. It is asking for two more questions, like how much do you think you save? Okay, I think like I can be with 1 million to 2 million, and then I need 2 to 3,000. I know it's not enough. So I'm just giving a brief example of to this one. So it's still asking for, we need one more data point. So roughly how much do you invest across all? Like, okay, so let me tell like this way. Okay, how much currently saving? I'm putting like 1,000. So basically, it's keep on asking me questions to understand about my financial things. Okay, so let's me talk about. So what, now it is going to ask you like, okay, whether I want to cover about 401k beyond the match. Tell me about the taxable brokerage account. I understand about. I want to do investment better, and I want to talk about the index funds, ETFs, or insurance. Like, okay, I want to go with index funds and ETFs. So this again talks about a lot of other things also. So this is how the investment pyramid looks like. Again, we know we are 12 more minutes already ahead, but hopefully you guys can see like when we are giving different prompts to chat GPT or Claude, it's keep on asking me questions because we asked it like, okay, make it a conversational and get more answers so we can do it. So I understand to diversion, classification better, so it's going to give me information. So this is how it should be. I can share those. We can share those prompts, like even I had this when I was talking about, this is one of the travel advisor one I follow this one actually. I give almost like I use 5 to 6 minutes to mention all these things. Where I'm going, destination, whether I'm going with family or solo, then what are the starting location, how I want to go, budget, then I'm giving the instruction also. I'm asking it, okay, ask me few
So,
questions also. I can then
yeah,
refine my understanding
let's
and
say,
suggestion. Go ahead.
Satya, sorry to interrupt, but I was trying to say that let's not give everything to them.
Yeah,
Let
yeah, sure, yeah.
everything to the audience. This is a good text as an exercise and nice text prompt, right?
Yeah. So basically, this is what I was talking like, okay, we have this kind of prompts. The more you provide 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes at least for defining the prompt, that is how the rise come into the picture. If you define your prompt, then it will help you to give a better context from the chatbot. That is what the main goal of this today's session is. Yeah, I think that is all from my side today. If Utkal Bhai is still there.
Yes.
Utkal
So,
Bhai.
राइट सो आम सब सेसन एंड रे कौन करूँ टे लेट हो गलानी से एपोलोजिज कि सब सेसन एंड रे कौन कलु गोटे 0 आवर भाई ओपन हो जाए बिकज गोटे जिन मुझे देखिपारि आज जो 130 जन आम रेजिस्टर करते आसते भितर पाखापाखि 10% लोक अलरेडी एआई रे बा विषय जानते देर आर लट ऑफ वाइज पीपल आई वुड सीरियसली होप दिस वाज लाइक यू नो आमर इनिशियल सेसन थिला बट आई वांट यू गाइज टॉकिंग राइट आमको शिखेबे जो मैंने एथे इट इज अ कम्युनिटी ड्रिवेन माने ये से शिखेला भली तेणु आपण मैंने जो मैंने एथे काम करिसेंती प्लीज प्रोफेशनल हाइफेन नेटवर्किंग एट ओडिशा सोसाइटी रे करंतु जदि आम भितर जहाँ जानते तांको मेसेज करंतु कम एंड टेल योर टॉपिक अहेड आम मैंने सीक्वेंस करी गोटे सीक्वेंस रे करबा सब थोर एई फॉर्मेट रहइबो फर्स्ट गोटे स्पीकर सीरीज जो थरे आमे नेक्स्ट कोन होउची कोन चलची इंडस्ट्री जानिबा आ सेकंड पार्ट रहइबो हैंड्स ऑन करबा नेक्स्ट सेशन ने हमर आसीबो अधिका हैंड्स ऑन जिंस जेंति कि स्पेसिफिक यूज केस गोटे जेंति सत्यव्रत स्टार्टेड डूइंग कि फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग हला कि हमर गोटे ट्रिप प्लानिंग हला एक्जाक्टली जिबा आ से देखला गोटे कन्वर्सेशन ने करिवे आकु रियली गोटे मनीष भाया ट्रीट करके करुवे ताले हबो हाउएवर ये जो बुक रेकमेंडेशन दीटा अच्छे बहुत बढ़िया बही मु पढ़ा स्टार्ट कर एंड आई हर्ड कि माने हमर इंडस्ट्री लीडर माने पढ़ुचंती बोली तांकोटू सुनिकी दिस टॉक अबाउट कि ह्यूमन टच कोठी दरकार जदियो एटा एआई कॉन्टेक्स्ट रे कोहाइची ए बुक रेकमेंड हेची यू नीड टू नो ह्यूमन कोउथिरे सुपीरियर व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर ऑफ द ह्यूमंस गोइंग टू बी थिंग्स लाइक दैट सो एट दिस पॉइंट जो मैंने रही पारे हमर सेशन एंड हेची आपण क्वेश्चन जहाँ करिवे ऑफलाइन वी विल कंटिन्यू टू आंसर बट आपण जदि फील फ्री करंतु ताहले टिके हैंड रेज करंतु आउ देन वी विल अलाउ यू टू अनम्यूट एंड जन जन करके किसी यदि मंतव्य आपनकर अछि कहिवे एथर गोटे हैंड रेज अछि नहले चैट करंतु जदि हैंड रेज धीर भाई आपण फर्स्ट हैंड रेज करचंती सो आपण अनम्यूट करी कहंतु
उत्कल अंजन प्रशांत भाई अनुष्का सत्यव्रत and Prasant, excellent job. And this is one of the, with all my travel, I just came back from India. So I was not aware today it is. I was, for some reason, I was thinking it is Sunday. Anyway, excellent session. And particularly one thing for all of you, there is a lot of hype. Whatever happens, nobody is going to replace human brain and human mind. It is going to be there. Many things, because when we are in our student career, that time computerization came, and the whole world also fought against it. Hey, we must stop computerization, automation, and all that. But we have seen what it brought to us. The same way, AI, there will be two types of people, let me say. Those who are going to use AI and those who are not going to use AI. Absolutely. And the most important thing is using your common sense. And as I said, whenever you are using AI, any tools and all that, I would recommend, okay, if you are going to use the free one, that's fine. But sometimes, if you, as I said, there is nothing called free lunch. You will be the product to be sold to the market. So in that context, I just, I had added, I will take 30 seconds to give you a use case, okay? We talk about all those, every wonderful tools that we have known, ChatGPT and all those things. I know everyone in this meeting must be using WhatsApp, correct? How many of you know it has a wonderful AI tool inbuilt into it? And the same thing, at the same time, I just want to ask one question. I need a wonderful article to be written on my grandfather. Any chatbot AI tools ever there in the world, you ask, they will fail. Correct? Or my great-grandfather. Why it is going to fail? Because it does not have enough information. There will be some people, all of us, had to teach us. To give you one use case, when chatbot came and all those things, I asked a couple of questions because literature and my language is very close to me. I asked questions, okay. I asked, what is Mahaprasad? My answer was, oh, it is a big palace. Oh, big palace? Is there anything else? Are you talking about something? We just have a conversational thing, but hardly anything was there. So how to solve this type of problem? I started doing something. I picked up some of the wonderful writings and research papers and all that on Mahaprasad. And I didn't use ChatGPT or Copilot. I used what was on my hand, WhatsApp. Okay? I teach it. Now, all of you can ask an article to be written, the importance of Mahaprasad in the context of compassion, in context of Odia identity, in context of world peace. Be my guest. You will find a wonderful, wonderful article written for you. So how it happened? We trained it. So we have a lot to contribute to this industry, and common sense is the most uncommon thing, and use your common sense. And at the same time, one of the book was there for my father's autography, Choto Gara Bodamanisa, written by one of his students. And I had requested many people who can be helping me to translate that book. I have offered money. I have tried to go and all that. There are some family things, and my mother was serious. That time I was in India and suffering. One fine evening, I said, hey, I'm asking everybody, at least I have some knowledge. Why I cannot try? I take the first chapter, try to translate. I failed. I tried to use WhatsApp, ChatGPT and all that. I failed. What I did then, I used my basic English skill and the Odia language, one page, one sentence, one line, one paragraph at a time. And I just want to report. The complete book is ready, using WhatsApp as the tool for translating Odia into English.
Nice.
So this is something, what you give. Because if we cannot, because the other thing, technology people will be there. But very few people like us will be there who are going to be interested in our language, who are going to give the community back. That's only we can do. You ask Prof. Rai. She cannot do anything because she does not understand technology. I talked to Mausi on that one. I said, I'm using a little bit of ChatGPT. That time I said, okay, Mausi, I am trying to train my model, WhatsApp, to be my slave, to deliver me the best. And I have done that. So this is just my use case, and all the best. And all the big shots are there, so I should not take much time. Utkal, wonderful job. And Anjan, keep doing. I still don't forget you bring SOA. That was my inspiration.
धीरे भाई बढ़िया कथा कहले एक्चुअली व्हाट इज इंपोर्टेंट आम सब टूल यूज कला पर देखी आम जो ह्यूमन वैल्यूटा दे पार मैंने सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर नियंतु जो आर्किटेक्चरल थॉट गोटे प्रडक्टर वैल्यू गोटे कस्टमर वैल्यू केमती मिल से जिन ह्यूमन जमी आर्टिकुलेट कर हेनी सो दैट इज वेयर वी शुड बी स्पेंडिंग अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम कि कौ जिनसर ह्यूमन वैल्यू अच्छी टूल्स गुड़ा होची जेमती चामच आ फर्क से चामच धरिकी आप स्क्रू ड्राइवर भाई भी यूज करेंगे चाहिए खाई पारे बट व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू डू सेटा ह्यूमन ब्रांड आसवा कथा
Utkal, just to give an example, Ajit Bhaina was there. He was asking about the tool. So I didn't answer his question. I just want to answer in this platform. So when Neha was born 25 years back, I had every question how to handle a little baby. And Ajit Bhaina and Pinaki Bhaina was there as my pediatrician, as my big brother. Okay. Now, how we can make their life easier? Okay. That's one of the other thing. Because the doctors' fraternity spend a lot of time in useless paperworks. And now those things are getting redundant, and a lot of things AI is taking care, and we are going in the right direction. Utkar, now up to you.
Okay, thank you, Dhirubhai, for your wonderful insight. Next କିଏ କହିବେ କିଛି share କରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବେ?
All right.
କହୁଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରଶାନ୍ତ ଭାଇ କୁହନ୍ତୁ.
So I am a scientist working on drug discovery. Most of the time we do bench work, but nowadays we're getting a lot of data around the globe. They said so we get a challenging as well. When there is a lot of data and we want to use those data set as a preliminary resources to understand our question. So, although there is many tools available, we are getting codes to write, to generate some images, to visualize the images. But I'm very new to that field, to using all the AI ML tools, but still it is helpful and it's not is very yearly for us to understand those kind of applications by using AI. So that is one of my concern. So, but we are learning on this phase. Hope Anjan Bhai can elaborate more on this. I use all those tools what required to generate images, to visualize or explore, to find questions or to find answers. But I'm not not confident about using AI at this time on those applications. That is very early for us.
So that's a quite big area of synthetic data in medical imaging. So ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଡୋମେନ୍ ତ ବହୁତ ଇଜ୍ ଇଟ୍ ସେଲ୍ଫ ଏ ସ୍ପେଶାଲାଇଜ୍ ଡୋମେନ୍. ଏକ ହେଉଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସ୍ପେଶାଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ଦରକାର. ସେ ସ୍ପେଶାଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ଉପରେ ପୁଣି ଇମେଜ୍ ଦେଖିକି ତାକୁ ଇଏ କରିକି ସୋ ଦେର୍ ଆର୍ ନ୍ୟୁରିପ୍ସରେ ଯାଇଥିଲି ସାଣ୍ଡିଏଗୋରେ ନ୍ୟୁରିପ୍ସ ହେଇଥିଲା. ସୋ ଦେର୍ ଆର୍ ଲଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ସାଇଣ୍ଟିଫିକ୍ ମଡେଲ୍ସ ହ୍ୱିଚ୍ actually are addressing this problem, like synthetic data generation for data scarcity space. So, and there is a drug discovery space is also coming up, and this has become more accurate in 2020, end of 2025 and 2026. Upon San Francisco, South San Francisco is becoming a major hub after Boston and San Diego. Doing a lot of AI companies are doing only this with big amount of funding, right? So your field is this field which you specifically said is emerging super fast. ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଚାହିଁବେ ଆମର କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଓପନ୍ ସୋର୍ସ ଷ୍ଟାକଟେ ତିଆରି କରିପାରିବା. ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥିବେ ମୁଁ ALS ପାଇଁ କରୁଛି. At some point in time I'll open that up, but ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଚାହିଁବେ ଗୋଟେ ଅଲଗା open source track ବି ଆମ community ପାଇଁ କରିପାରିବା. That fits into your need and our community will have a reference. ଯେମିତି ସସ୍ତା ସୁନ୍ଦର ମଜବୁତ open source ଭଳିଆ ଗୋଟେ stack ତିଆରି କରିଦେଇ ହବ.
Yeah, that could be amazing. I may be more on research application on the bench side and giving input to the data side. But as you guys are more expert on the data side, that could be helpful if we can integrate these ideas together and make something for the community.
So synthetic
Prasant, to
data,
answer
right?
your Anjan answered what I just want to, because that's a very niche area and lot of investment is there. But the major problem sometimes, IBM invested great amount of data to come up with this AI on healthcare side, but they failed miserably. Why? Our doctor friends and the fraternity and the community never huge, and there was not enough data to do any research or take it further.
I will disagree at this time because I work at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Los Angeles, and we have a special department. It's called AI application in biomedicine, and there's a lot of hiring going on. But if you
No,
apart that, if a biomedical science laboratory We usually hire bioinformatician to work, but at this time, because of lack of funding and
Yeah.
scarcity of funding, you may not afford the bioinformatician, separately in our group, but we have to do that by our own.
Now,
So this
Prasant, I didn't
challenging is
say
there.
for here. See, the major problem, if you want to solve any healthcare problem, India is the platform. Because let me tell you one thing, my doctor friends Umavaina is there. There are doctors who might be treating whatever lifetime of number of patients. One doctor in India treated that much of patient in 1 year. But we don't have those information into the system. That is the major issue. But things are changing.
Yeah, I don't have a comment about the doctors' applications in India, but yeah, so whatever we are facing here is also challenging.
Yeah. Umavaina, you can give little input from you.
ଭାଇ ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି
Utkal, unmute Vaina.
ମୁଁ କରିବାକୁ ସେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଇଡରୁ ଆଇ ହାଭ୍
Vaina,
ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟେଡ୍
unmute
ଏବେ
yourself.
ହେଇଗଲା
Please.
ଏବେ ହେଇଗଲା ଶୁଭୁଛି କୁହନ୍ତୁ ଉମା ଭାଇ
Can't hear you.
ହଁ ହଁ वी କ୍ୟାନ୍ ହିୟର୍ ୟୁ ଆଚ୍ଛା ତ ସିଏ ଆମକୁ ଶୁଣିପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ନାଇଁ ସो ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ପିକର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଗଲା ବୋଧେ ଉମା ଭାଇ ଦୁଇଟା ଆଗରେ ଲଗ୍ଡ ଇନ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେରେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ ଗୋଟେରେ ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ ଉମା ଭାଇ ହୋପଫୁଲି ଆପଣ ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ଯାହା କହୁଛୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ କଥା ଶୁଭୁନି ଓକେ ଅଲ୍ ରାଇଟ୍ ଆଉ କାହାର କିଛି କହିବାର ଅଛି ବାଇ ଦ ଟାଇମ୍ ଉମା ଭାଇ ଫିଗର ଆଉଟ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କେମିତି ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରିବେ ଏବେ ଧୀର ଭାଇ ଆପଣ ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯଦି କିଛି ଆମକୁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
No, Vaina yegale. Prasant, I was trying to talk about the Watson. So just do a little bit of research, and one of my good friend was heading that part, and so much of money has gone, but unfortunately, IBM never got what it was intended for, cancer research.
Dhirubhai, that's actually a business study. I mean, sometimes I do think like why IBM invested in Watson a lot and they had the money. Why they could not bring the breakthrough, like ଆପଣଙ୍କର attention model